There are things in your home that don't make you happy anymore, but they're still there, sitting on a shelf, hiding in a drawer, or just blending into the background. And some days you might stop and wonder, why does my home always feel so heavy? After spending time helping women clear their spaces, I've noticed something interesting. Most homes hold on to the same types of clutter even when those items aren't useful anymore. These things aren't trash. They once had a purpose. But maybe that purpose has passed. The good news is you don't have to clean your whole house today. You just need a starting point. In this video, I'll share 18 everyday items we often declutter first to help create a space that feels lighter, calmer, and easier to care for. Let's start with the first item is things you thought you'd use but didn't. These are the kinds of items that slowly pile up without you even noticing because at first, they seemed like a good idea. They're made to be used up, things like food, drinks, skincare, or daily products. They're not meant to stay forever. But in real life, many of them become long-term clutter. Why? Because you didn't like them, didn't need them, or forgot you had them. For example, a mouthwash that was way too strong, so you tried it once and never touched it again. A deodorant with a scent that gave you a headache. Sheet masks you bought in bulk during a sale, but let's be honest, you never have time to use them. Then there are the cute but useless items. Maybe it's some detox tea that smelled weird. You drank it once and that was enough. Or a giant bag of chia seeds you bought during a healthy eating phase, but then forgot in the back of the cupboard. It might be a trial bag of pet food your cat didn't like, some trendy supplements you bought and never opened, diet snacks you got just in case but never actually ate, even fancy tea, coffee, or cookies bought for guests. But no one drinks them, and you don't really like them either. These things quietly take up space on shelves and boxes in your kitchen drawers. Not because they're big, but because you keep thinking, it's fine, I might use it later. But deep down, you already know you won't. Letting go of these feels good. You're not throwing away something useful, you're simply clearing out the things you've already decided not to use. Next up, we have mid-size kitchen appliances, gadgets you thought would be super useful, but end up taking up precious space. Things like pressure cookers, slow cookers, high-powered blenders, you bought them thinking they'd save you time in the kitchen. But instead, they just gather dust in a corner. Expensive coffee makers you used once or twice, or juicers that seemed like a good idea but never got used. There are also appliances you bought because they seemed trendy, like nut milk makers or bread machines. You were excited to use them but ended up forgetting about them after 1 or 2 tries. These items don't just sit in the kitchen, they often end up in storage areas, closets, or basements. What's great about decluttering these items is that it only takes one decision to free up entire spaces. Your kitchen will feel so much bigger and you'll have room for the things you actually use every day. If you have any of these gadgets collecting dust in your home, it's time to let them go and make room for the items that truly serve your lifestyle. Here comes the next thing, toys. They start as a few cherished gifts, but quickly multiply, taking over every corner of your home. At first, we buy toys to make our kids happy, but what ends up happening is they just pile up, and we're left with the task of sorting through them every few months. A simple and effective way to tackle this is to focus on what's actually being used. Ask yourself, which toys do my kids play with regularly? Instead of keeping everything, consider creating themed play areas like a restaurant corner or a superhero zone and store toys accordingly. This helps you focus on quality over quantity. And for the ones that are never touched, encourage your kids to donate or pass them along to other children who would love them. It's a win-win. You reduce clutter, teach sharing, and make space for the toys that truly bring joy. Item number 4 is the duplicates dilemma. How often do you find yourself buying something you already own, like a new set of kitchen knives or a bunch of extra measuring spoons, just because you couldn't find the original ones? Duplicates are sneaky clutter. They tend to accumulate over time and take up valuable space, often without us even realizing it. One simple strategy to tackle duplicates is to create a duplicate zone. Every time you buy a new item, especially a kitchen gadget, put it in a designated spot. Once a week, check the pile and ask yourself, do I really need this? This small habit not only helps you avoid unnecessary purchases, but also forces you to evaluate what you truly need. A quick 10-minute cleanup can clear out all the extras and give you back precious space in your kitchen closet or storage area. How many of us open our closet doors only to be met with piles of clothes that we might wear someday? The maybe someday clothes often take up space and cause unnecessary stress. We keep them because they remind us of past styles, weight goals, or occasions we never went to. The trick is to focus on the pieces you truly love and wear regularly. Instead of trying to decide what to toss, start by pulling out what makes you feel amazing, what fits your current lifestyle, and what you actually reach for every day. For the rest, ask yourself, does this fit my style now? Does it serve me? A good rule of thumb is if you haven't worn it in the last 6 months, it's time to let it go. You can donate, sell, or even repurpose these clothes, but whatever you do, clearing them out will not only free up space, but will also make it easier to see and enjoy the clothes that make you feel great. Another one to check something that often stays just in case is decorative items you don't love anymore. We all accumulate decorative items over time, often because they were gifts or because we thought they were stylish at one point. However, as time passes, many of these items lose their appeal and we end up keeping them out of sentimentality or obligation. It's easy to let things like outdated vases, knickknacks, and picture frames clutter up your space. The trick is to declutter with intention. When you're deciding what to keep, ask yourself, does this item still make me happy? Does it fit my current style? If the answer is no, don't feel guilty about letting it go. You're not getting rid of memories. You're simply making space for new things that you love and that better reflect your current tastes. Try a one-in, one-out rule for decorative items. Whenever you buy a new piece, make sure to donate or sell an old one. This habit keeps your space fresh, ensures that each item has a purpose, and avoids unnecessary clutter. Freeing yourself from excess decor will not only lighten up your home, but also make your space feel more curated and intentional. Here's another one: is paper trail clutter. Paperwork quickly adds up and takes over your home. It could be kids' school papers, receipts, old bills, or even random notes and greeting cards. We hold on to these because they feel important, but often they just pile up and cause unnecessary clutter. The real issue is that we don't have a clear system to handle it. Without a simple filing or sorting routine, papers quickly become overwhelming. We worry that tossing something out might lead to needing it later, but most of the time, paper just becomes clutter because we don't deal with it right away. My tip: set up a simple system to deal with paper sort mail. Immediately keep essential documents in one place and toss the rest. It will keep your space organized and prevent paper from taking over your home. Another item on the list, one that quietly contributes to clutter. Gift giving can be tricky. While we often give gifts to show appreciation, sometimes the gifts we choose don't really serve a purpose. A lot of the time we give gifts out of habit without considering whether the recipient actually needs or wants it. For instance, you might pick a gift that seems perfect in theory, but it ends up just collecting dust because it doesn't match the person's needs or lifestyle. The truth is, gifts don't need to be expensive or extravagant. What truly matters is choosing something thoughtful and useful. A simple, meaningful gift can often create more of a connection than a fancy one that just adds to the clutter. Instead of choosing items that will eventually gather dust, think about giving something practical or even an experience you can share together. Sometimes the best gift is the one that reflects true care and attention rather than just a material object. On to the next, a surprisingly common item that you can easily part with. Bags are something many of us have in abundance, yet we often don't realize how many we truly don't use. Over time, we accumulate handbags, totes, and backpacks for various reasons. Maybe they were on sale or they were a gift. But most of the time, they end up tucked away in the back of our closets, never used. The first step in decluttering your bag collection is to assess each one. Take them all out one by one and ask yourself, have I used this bag in the last 6 months? Does it still match my style and lifestyle? If the answer is no, it's time to let it go. Don't feel guilty. You're making room for pieces that are actually useful and that bring joy. A helpful trick is to store your bags in a way that you can see them all clearly. This will help you become more mindful of what you actually use, and it'll be easier to spot the bags you no longer need. Consider donating the ones in good condition or selling them. By doing this, you're not only decluttering, but you're also contributing to someone else's life. Number 10 is shoes. Much like clothes have a way of accumulating in our closets over time, we often buy them with the best intentions, whether it's a trendy pair of heels, a new pair of sneakers, or boots for the upcoming season. But as time goes on, some of these shoes get pushed to the back of the closet and remain untouched. The trick with shoes is to take stock of what you actually wear. Set aside some time to try on your shoes and assess whether they still fit, are comfortable, and match your current lifestyle. If a pair hasn't been worn in over a year, it's probably time to let it go. Donate or sell shoes in good condition that no longer serve you. One helpful tip is to organize your shoes by type so you can easily see what you have. If you've kept shoes just for special occasions, think about whether those occasions still exist in your life. By making the decision to declutter your shoes, you'll not only free up closet space, but also make your daily routine easier knowing you only have the pairs that truly fit your life. Let's keep going. This item hides in plain sight but rarely gets used. Old cell phones and chargers are some of the most common clutter culprits in our homes. We hold on to old devices and cords just in case we need them in the future, but the reality is most of us never go back to using them. These items sit in drawers tucked behind piles of papers, taking up valuable space. The first step in dealing with this clutter is to gather all your old phones and chargers in one place. Once you have everything together, check if the phones are still functional or if they can be recycled. Old chargers are even easier to deal with if they don't match any current devices. Toss them. A helpful tip is to use a drawer organizer for your electronics, so everything has a designated place. If you don't need the items, consider donating working phones to charity or recycling them at an e-waste center. By decluttering your electronics, you free up space, simplify your tech setup, and contribute to sustainability by disposing of items responsibly. Number 12. How many times have you kept a piece of broken furniture telling yourself you'll fix it someday? Broken chairs, couches with missing cushions, or shelves that no longer hold up items properly can all take up space and create a sense of clutter. Even though these items may have sentimental value or were once purchased with good intentions, they no longer serve a functional purpose. The key is to assess the furniture's condition and determine if it's worth repairing or if it's time to part ways with it. If you're not using a piece of furniture, or if it's beyond repair, don't hesitate to let it go. Donate usable furniture, recycle broken pieces, or even repurpose items into something new. This process not only clears up space, but also brings a fresh energy to your home, allowing you to enjoy the furniture that fits your current lifestyle. Another item on the list is old magazines and newspapers. Magazines and newspapers are things we tend to hold on to for sentimental reasons, or because we think we'll read them later. However, most of us never go back to them, and they simply pile up. Old magazines, especially ones that are months or years old, add unnecessary bulk and take up space. A simple trick to clear these out is to schedule a monthly purge of your reading material. As you sort through them, ask yourself, will I realistically read this? If not, it's time to recycle them. A helpful tip is to go digital for magazines and newspapers. Subscribe to digital versions to enjoy the content without the clutter. By eliminating these piles, you'll instantly create a more organized and spacious living area free from paper clutter. We all have beauty products stashed away in drawers or cabinets, lotions, serums, makeup and hair products that we bought on a whim or received as gifts. These products were once useful, but over time they lose their effectiveness and even their safety. Expired beauty products can cause skin irritation or other issues, so it's important to check the expiration dates regularly and toss anything that's past its prime. A great way to manage your beauty collection is to organize your products by category and only keep what you use daily. By removing expired or unused beauty products, you create a much cleaner and more organized bathroom space that is also safer for your skin. Another one worth clearing out something that rarely gets used but somehow stays around. Fitness equipment is one of those things that many people purchase with enthusiasm but eventually neglect. A treadmill that's now a clothes hanger, a set of dumbbells you thought you'd use regularly but never did, they all add to the clutter. The key is to be realistic about your fitness goals. If you've had equipment sitting around for months or years without use, it's time to let it go. Don't feel guilty. Instead, consider donating it to someone who will use it or selling it online. One great trick is to stick to a fitness routine that requires minimal equipment. This will prevent you from accumulating unnecessary gear. By doing this, you'll not only free up space, but also ensure that your home remains functional and clutter-free. And one more is bag overload. Reusable bags were meant to help the environment, but for many of us, they quickly become a source of stress. You buy one or two, then forget to take them to the store, and before you know it, you've got a mountain of bags taking over your entryway closet or car. Here's a simple trick to manage them. Use the one-in, one-out rule. Every time you buy a new reusable bag, make sure to donate, recycle, or throw out one you no longer use. This ensures your collection doesn't get out of hand. Another helpful tip is to assign bags to specific areas in your home. Keep a few in the car for grocery shopping, a couple in the kitchen for quick errands, and perhaps even store a few in your gym bag for when you need them. By doing this, you'll always know where your bags are, and you won't be overwhelmed by the ever-growing pile. Plus, you'll never find yourself rushing to the store without one again. Almost at the end, item number 19 is linens. Towels, bedding pillowcases, bath towels, beach towels, face cloths, hand towels, and blankets. It feels like they multiply on their own. If you're like me, you probably have a collection of mismatched towels that never seem to match, and bed sheets you have no idea the size of. Why isn't every sheet clearly labeled with its size? I don't know, but it drives me crazy. The key to tackling linens is to pull everything out at once and not just from your linen closet. Check under the beds in the basement or spare rooms. This is a great chance to review all your sheets, towels, and blankets at once. Does that beach towel from last summer still make sense to keep? Are there blankets you haven't used in years? This is the time to evaluate what you truly use, not what's just been there taking up space. If it's been months or years since you last used it, let it go. You'll be amazed at how much space you free up and how much easier it is to grab what you really need. And finally, the last item, one that truly transforms your space when you let it go. We all have items from a past chapter of life that we've held on to, but they no longer serve a purpose. Maybe it's office clothes you used to wear before you retired, work equipment you no longer need since you're back at the office, or books your kids used to read but have long since outgrown. These things were once important, but now they're just collecting dust. The challenge with these items is they often carry emotional baggage, so it can be difficult to part with them. That said, the trick is to start by acknowledging their value and then ask yourself, do I still need this in my life? Some items might be keepsakes, and that's wonderful. But for the rest, it's time to honor their past role in your life and let them go. If you're unsure, start small with items that have little emotional connection, like old office supplies or outdated technology. This category doesn't need to be tackled first, but it's one that will eventually bring clarity and open up space in your home. By letting go of these 18 items, you're not just clearing physical space, you're creating room for calm clarity and the things that truly matter in your life. Each item you declutter is a small step toward a home that feels lighter, easier to care for, and more joyful to live in. Remember, you don't have to do it all at once. Start with just a few items today and notice how much peace it brings. Over time, these small actions add up to a home that supports your well-being and gives you a fresh start every day. If this video inspired you to declutter, hit like, share it with someone who might need a little space cleared, and subscribe for more practical tips on creating a home that feels calm, organized, and truly yours.